Okay, this is episode 3 of the alternative future of the world. Okay, we have a big thing happening in Africa. We have, what color is this? We have South Sudan joining this Southern African Union. And Kenya does too. But there's an important reason why they're doing this. You'll see in a second. Let's see, what's the right color here? Not that color. This color. I know it's not exactly the right color, but close enough. Actually, wait. I don't need to do that. I can do this. Yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, I might have to zoom in a little bit more to actually do this correctly. Okay, so I don't like these maritime borders. Just get rid of those. I might as well just get rid of all the maritime borders here. I will make my own maritime borders. I don't need them here. Just assume that if it goes to the coast, they don't have any rights to a lake, basically. We'll treat a lake as an ocean. It's collective property. You can sail on it as long as you're not like sinking ships or something. No Somali pirates either. Oh fuck. Fuck, dude. That's why you don't hold it down in a single stroke. You have to do it a little bit at a time. I know this is tedious. Okay. So obviously you can see that Comoros there is part of the Arab League. We're about to see something interesting happen with Africa. That might stir tensions with the Arab League a little bit. Quite a bit, actually, maybe. I'm not sure. 4 pixels, okay. Okay. We have the unification of the East African Federation, basically, is the East African Federation. So you have Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania, Kenya, and South Sudan uniting into the East African Federation. Oh, fuck. I knew that was going to happen. That's why you never do it in a single stroke. Just click a bunch like this. Or at least click every once in a while. So you don't have to restart completely. What the fuck? Okay, this is annoying me a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now we have a single pixel. There we go. So it's all united now. All united. All united into one country. We also have another unification going on, and that's between... Actually, we have Ethiopia joining the South African Federation. And then they declare war on Djibouti. So they occupy Djibouti, basically. They occupy Djibouti. They just go slam through it. There's like nobody in Djibouti. They get Djibouti. And that's it. So in this peace treaty, well, it doesn't need a peace treaty because you just completely annex Djibouti. Okay. Now you fill it in. There we go. This right here, we're going to say, well, actually, I know it belongs to Yemen, but I was going to say, I can't have Somalia fight over it with Yemen because they're in the same alliance. And if two countries in the same alliance fight each other, might as well just kick out the country that started it. Oh, I forgot to color this in. There's a few other things I'm gonna make happen, and that is this new green alliance. Okay, no. So, first of all, we have the Green Alliance disbanding because we have Turkmenistan joining the CSTO and Iran joining the CSTO. And then, I mean, if it's just Azerbaijan, it just disbands it. Okay, now we have something interesting going on, and that is this part of Azerbaijan declares independence from the main part. Okay? And actually, it's going to be even further than this. There's going to be an entire area over here that declares independence. We have this entire area of Iran declares independence from Iran, and this entire area of Azerbaijan declares independence from Azerbaijan. Now, there's no fighting that goes on here. Or maybe there is. I don't know. So yeah, we have this part of Azerbaijan declaring independence because it's Armenian majority. I know it's just a very specific part of it that's Armenian majority, but it still declares independence because we have the Armenians and they're taking over the rest of this part of Azerbaijan, basically, and then declaring independence. And this is backed by CSTO. And this part of Azerbaijan, let's do this correctly. This part of Azerbaijan declares independence from Iran. Okay, so it leaves the CSTO. This part of Azerbaijan joins the CSTO, and so does this part that declare independence. Now they both choose with the help of Russia. Since Russia is involved, Azerbaijan does not want to deal with it. Plus, I like the idea of this part of Iran joining them anyway. Okay, let's see how this works. Yeah, it doesn't really work. Okay. Wait a minute, is Iran the right color there? No, it is not. It's not the right color. Neither is Turkmenistan. I chose the wrong red there. Same with this. It's the wrong red. That's the wrong red. Fuck. Alright. I think we're done here. Let's get now Armenia doesn't occupy these places. They willingly unify with Armenia. Okay? And then this part of Iran willingly joins with Azerbaijan. But Iran basically allows this as long as Azerbaijan joins the CSTO and trades extensively with Iran and gives them most of their oil. Because there's like a pipeline that goes from here all the way up into Georgia over to Turkey. I'm not going to say most of their oil, but they have to give them a significant amount of their oil. So Azerbaijan is forced to join the CSTO. That's the wrong red. There we go. So that's a little bit of stuff happening in the Caucasus. All right, now we have China invading India. If this place in India or China, wherever this is, if it had Indian troops there, there are now Chinese troops there. They completely occupy it and annex it. Completely. Just completely annex it. Same with this part of India. They invade it, I guess. I mean, India is not in an alliance, so there's no one who can fight back but India. And the Chinese troops basically just line up on that border. They also invade. They also justify all of this. Get ready for this by joining the CSTO, and so does Mongolia. Well, not yet. Mongolia will, but in a little bit. In a little bit, you'll see why they'll join the CSTO. Okay, so before China invades Bhutan, for example, which is the next thing that's going to happen, Indonesia has a little bit of an issue. So a very abrupt thing happens to Indonesia, and that is the very easternmost portion declares independence and then joins Papua New Guinea. This is in the same timeline that Bougainville has declared its independence, and Papua New Guinea can't really do anything about that. And then Bougainville joins the Solomon Islands as a country. They unite. So then this part of Papua New Guinea, or basically Papua New Guinea, let me try that. Papua New Guinea allies with the whole entire island of Papua, and now it's under not necessarily Papua New Guinea's control, but it's all united now. It's all united, and yeah, it's all united. Now, something very important is about to happen to Indonesia. It collapses. It completely collapses, breaks apart. That's not what I meant to do. It collapses. Sulawesi and some islands declare independence. The Bornean part of Indonesia declares independence, as well as the Malaysian part of Borneo declaring independence. And then they decide to unite with each other quickly before they could do anything about it. Brunei decides to stay independent for now. Oh, let me change this a little bit. That is not what I meant to do. What in the hell is going on here? Okay. Dude. Okay. I'm gonna change this a little bit. This is supposed to be green. Come on. These islands also join Borneo. Okay? This part of Indonesia declares its independence and swiftly East Timor joins in. East Timor unites with them. East Timor unites with them, and they are all just Timor and some islands. This is all under the guise that East Timor gets to control them, though. So the capital is whereabouts somewhere around here in East Timor, or wherever East Timor's capital is. Java and Bali declare their independence. Actually, that's basically what's left of Indonesia. So Indonesia just changes its name. Well, before we tell you that it changes its name, we gotta tell you that. Or I gotta tell you that Sumatra declares its independence as well. So there's basically nothing left of Indonesia other than Java. Java and Bali. This is all that Indonesia's left. This is where the capital is, and it renames itself to Java. So Indonesia completely dissolves into a bunch of different countries. Oh, now we're going to tell you what happens to Singapore. So Singapore joins the Western Alliance, surprisingly. And then they take over some Malaysian islands. Then they start their invasion of Malaysia. Now before they do this, they have American troops sent there, like months in advance. And Malaysia just automatically surrenders. Because, actually, let's just say they don't surrender. Let's say they get invaded, okay? They get invaded. They're stubborn. There's like 1,000,000 U.S. troops there, but they're stubborn. Okay, Singapore starts invading. Wait a minute. Did I color that the wrong blue color? Yes, I did. Singapore starts invading. Malaysia. And then as soon as they are completely overpowering Malaysia, right around here, Malaysia not resigns. Malaysia surrenders. That's the right word I'm looking for. Okay. Let's recolor this to the right color. So then the new peace treaty looks like this. Singapore gets all of this, and it is now Singapore, part of Singapore. Now Malaysia gets very angry here, and they decide to join an alliance. They join the CSTO. Okay, and swiftly, oh yeah, that's part of that. Swiftly, Taiwan. Okay, so I'm not going to say swiftly, but swiftly, China decides to invade not Taiwan. That would be a big mess. They decide to invade Bhutan. Bhutan, basically cannot do anything about this. They just get completely absorbed and annexed into China. Okay, now China decides to start a war with Myanmar, and they just completely destroy Myanmar. Myanmar has no chance. Myanmar just gets completely crushed. There's just no chance for them. No chance at all in hell. China invades them quite a bit. And then, we're not going to say Myanmar surrenders quite yet. We're just going to show you that China starts to invade Myanmar quite a bit. They invade them, and then, just give me a second here. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit. I realize I'm zooming a little bit too much. China swiftly goes for Naypyidaw, or Naypyidaw, whatever, the capital of Myanmar. They start going for it. They send all their troops in here. Not all of them, but a lot of their troops. They send into here, try to capture the capital. And then once they do successfully, Myanmar surrenders. And China annexes Myanmar completely. I did not mean to do that. They completely annex them. Now, China sends a naval fleet to India here to take over these islands, and they successfully beat India on these islands. Okay? Now, this makes India very mad. So India takes a drastic measure before they lose too much land, and they join, believe it or not, the Western Alliance. Now, India swiftly goes after Nepal. Okay, they swiftly go after Nepal. Let's see, that's the capital. Kathmandu. They go after their capital of Kathmandu. They go after it. Let's see the right. They go after it, and they try to capture it and make Nepal surrender. And Nepal does not surrender. They keep just hiding in the mountains, basically. So India has no choice but to completely take over Nepal. They waste all their resources. I wouldn't say all the resources. God damn it. I wouldn't say all their resources, but they waste a lot of resources trying to invade Nepal. It's long and brutal. And then as this is happening, the eastern part of India declares its independence. It declares its independence from India. This part of India does. This eastern part. And so does Sikkim. Sikkim declares its independence. So they both join. They both leave. They both leave. I think I did that wrong. They both leave the alliance, the Western Alliance. India just ignores this, basically. Well, it doesn't ignore it. They feel horrible. Then they continue invading Nepal. Why is this not working? Yeah, there we go. They continue invading Nepal. And then they eventually keep invading it. And they cut it off. Then they basically invade this entire area here, and that area, and that area. They invade all this area. Now Nepal decides to surrender. Okay? They decide to surrender. So India draws up a border of what they haven't occupied so far. They allow Nepal to get. They actually take a little bit from Nepal in this treaty, they give Nepal a little bit, but they take most of it from Nepal. Like this. So here's the treaty. That's the wrong color. India takes Nepal, most of Nepal's land. I mean, they kind of have to because they lost a lot of land. Well, I mean, they don't technically have to. I did the right click. What is happening here? There we go. There's Nepal. Now, the only way that India is part of the peace treaty, India allows Nepal to continue existing as an independent state. I mean, they don't have any control over this area of Nepal or Sikkim or this eastern part of India. Oh, let me fix this here. They have no control over all this. They have no control over all this. But Sikkim decides to join the CSTO so that it doesn't get invaded by China. Okay, but no, under the conditions that Nepal were independent was under the guise or the condition that they join the Western Alliance, even though they're very not Western. They join it anyway because they're forced to. Okay, and here we go. We have, I guess that's it for, no, that wouldn't be it for this video. Pakistan is looking very worried here. They're surrounded by two big, massive alliances. So they decide, after pondering for a while, they don't have to ponder very much because they hate India so much. So they decide to join the CSTO. Now, actually, the Arab League disbands. They disband. They disband. There's no longer an Arab League. Except Jordan, Iraq, and Kuwait. They remain in this alliance. Not the Arab League, but they name it something new. We're going to recolor these. You'll see what is about to happen here. I think I explained this in a previous episode. They joined this new alliance called the Buffer Zone. I know it's a terrible name, isn't it? But they joined that. Okay, where's Comoros? They joined the Buffer Zone. You know, it's just kind of a fake alliance, but the world cannot know what this alliance is. Or what its intentions are. So Pakistan decides to join this, not knowing what the buffer zone actually is. They apply for membership, but get denied. Well, I can't say that they get denied because then that would be a little suspicious. So they get accepted for now, but they're let on the secret of what the actual plan is. And so they were going to join the red team anyway, the CSTO anyway, so they agree to join the buffer zone. Now, this part of India also agrees to join the buffer zone. And so does Mongolia. Actually, Mongolia can't join the buffer zone because there's no blue team there. So they just remain neutral. So yeah, there's the buffer zone. But we have a new alliance forming, and it's called the North African Union. There's no longer an Arab League. There's the North African Union. It includes Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia. Oh, I need to fix this island here. Tunisia, Libya, and Egypt. It also includes Sudan because they do not like this Ethiopia damming the Blue Nile. So they join as well. I did not mean to do that. They join there. And so does Eritrea, because why not? Because they're in North Africa, kind of. And Mauritania would like to join. And so they do. They join as well. Okay, now we have something going on in Africa. We have the invasion, joint invasion. Actually, Mauritania is denied from joining. There's a reason for this, just trust me. So, we have Algeria invading Mali. So, they invade Mali. I mean, there's basically no resistance in the desert because it's the fucking desert. There's no resistance. They start invading Mali. They try to stay clear from Mauritania because they see that they're somewhat allies. So they continue invading Mali. It's basically the desert here. I can kind of pick up on this. It's the desert. There's nobody here. I mean, there might be Timbuktu or whatever, but they invade and invade and invade. Mali catches. They don't catch them. They don't immediately notice, but they start to notice that their fucking influence is losing in the Sahara. Their influence is being lost in the Sahara. So after a while, they actually meet up with the Algerians and start fighting against them. They start fighting against them and start fighting back. Uh, not as strongly, not as strongly, but they do fight back and push back a little bit. Now, as soon as they do this, they decide to surrender. So, so that they can't possibly lose more land than this. So, oh yeah, all this up here is occupied by Algeria. I forgot to say that. That's all occupied by Algeria. Up there, up into the border. Okay, and then so let's look at the peace map. Yeah, it won't let me go back. Okay. Yeah, I knew this was gonna happen. Let me before I close out. Before I close out. Let's try to reopen. Okay, let's open it up in Clipchamp. I don't know what that means. Let's open it up there. Oh, I see. It's saved already. Okay. We'll have to deal with this then. Okay. Okay. So we have what? Oh, the right click isn't just erasing to white. It's whatever this color is. I see. Let's go to black. Okay. Okay. Oh, what a mess. What a mess. What a mess, dude. What a fucking mess. What a mess is this? All because I saved at the wrong time, I think. Okay. You get the idea. Algeria invades Mali. Okay, we gotta draw up the border here. Algeria decides in the peace treaty to take a little bit more than just what they actually got. But Mali says that you can't do that in the east. And Algeria's like, okay, maybe a little bit. But there's no reason they have to listen. Like Mali was weak. They have no influence over Algeria. And so it begins. The war in West Africa. Okay, we're gonna do this a certain way. We're gonna do this a certain way, but a different way. I only got one file here, so you're gonna, and I don't edit my videos, so you're gonna hear a lot of weird stuff going on. Okay, so there is the peace treaty. Algeria takes the majority of this desert. And yeah, they're now not the biggest country in Africa, but they are, I think, the second biggest. They might be the biggest, actually. Okay, so to combat this, West Africa starts its own union called, what do you think it's called? The West African Union. Actually, before this happens, Niger is looking quite angsty here. So they decide to merge with Burkina Faso to unite with them. And they decide to unite with Mali. Because Mali is like, yeah, let me join in on that, please. Because they just lost a massive war here. So then you have this massive new country called Saharan Union. I don't know, something like that. Okay, now we have the African the West African Union. It's gonna be in pink. It includes. It does not include this actually. It includes Ivory Coast, Ghana, Togo, Benin. I did not mean to do that. Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea. This is the West African Union. Okay, so that's a new union. It's an alliance. So Morocco decides to invade Mauritania. What a surprise. So, well, obviously, we're going to say all this is under Moroccan control already. So it starts to invade Mauritania, right? Oh my god. You're joking, dude. Okay. So it starts invading over here, and then it decides that's desert. Let's not go over there. So it invades over here. I mean, it's all desert. But they start invading. They invade pretty well because Mauritania is weak. Morocco is much stronger than Mauritania. They start invading, invading, invading. They just continue invading. And Mauritania has like absolutely no defense against this. So Morocco just keeps invading. And they just keep invading like for a while, actually. Nobody seems to stop them. Algeria actually starts to join in. They decide to join in. let's look at this real quick. So they decide this area they're going to start attacking. They decide to attack it. That's not what I meant to do. So then they start attacking this area, okay? Because Mauritania is not in the Union. That's why I decided to not put them in the Union. So Algeria captures all of this. No, not that. But it does capture all of this. Okay, and it captures all of this. Not that, for fuck's sake, dude. It captures all this. That's what Algeria does. Now Morocco, they just keep invading. They just decide to keep invading, and they meet up with Algeria on this border because they're friendly with Algeria. They are in alliance with Algeria. So they would betray Algeria if they were to attack. If they were to attack Algeria, they would lose membership of this alliance. So they are not going to do that. Everyone would vote them out of this alliance if they attacked Algeria. But they continue to attack Mauritania quite well, actually. They continue invading Mauritania, and then, oh my god, dude. They continue invading Mauritania. They do a very good job of it. And then they keep invading it. They can't touch these Canary Islands, but they invade Mauritania, and then eventually they run out of energy. Right? It's the middle of the desert. Okay, it's literally desert. So they start using. Well, they were always using helicopters to land, but they start using more. So you start seeing them land out here. They land out here, and then they start invading even more. They start invading, and they cut this part off and make this part surrender, so they don't have to invade it. And at this point, Mauritania just surrenders. They surrender. They've been invaded too much. Actually, we're not going to say that yet. No, they're going to surrender. They surrender and completely fall to Morocco. Fuck, dude. Completely fall to Morocco. And in the peace treaty, Morocco just takes all of Mauritania. Actually, yeah. No, it's not going to take all of Mauritania. We're going to leave Mauritania. No, we're not. It's going to take, no, we are going to leave Mauritania. It's going to take, oh, I didn't mean to do that. It's going to take quite a bit of Mauritania, okay? All the way up to here, basically. But Mauritania has to join the Western, or Northern African Union. It has to join the Northern African Union, so it does. And now you can see something really cool here when we zoom out. This is all now. Mauritania is just so crippled. So they they make a hard decision, right? I was gonna say they were gonna join Morocco, but I knew what to do. So Algeria decides to invade Mali again. And even this West African Union, or whatever this entire big union is here, has no chance against Algeria. So Algeria invades. Algeria invades. They just completely destroy. No, go back. No, dude. I did not mean to do that. I got it. Yeah. Not that. Oh my fucking god, dude. Okay, so Algeria decides to invade. They decide to invade. What in the hell is going on? They decide to invade. They invade Mali quite a bit. They only want to meet up with Mauritania, though. There's a reason. They invade Mauritania and Mali, and then they force Mauritania to capitulate. Mauritania is already in the Northern Union, but they force them to join Algeria. The entire Union forces them to join Algeria for a specific reason. You'll see why. Because Algeria is basically, I'm not going to say the strongest, but they're quite strong here. They're quite strong here. So they first force them to join Algeria. Okay, they take a little bit more than they occupied. But watch this. Okay, you gotta... I know this video is probably gonna hit an hour. There's a lot of wars going on in Africa. There we go. Now you're gonna see the final border and what this actually looks like. So, this West African Union here, or this Saharan Union, decides to join the West African Union, and they are accepted. Now, there's one last thing that I want for this video, and it's North Nigeria declaring its independence from Nigeria, and they successfully do so. Also, this part of this part of Sudan declares its independence from Sudan. For fuck's sake. This part of Sudan declares its independence from Sudan, but it stays part of the West African Union. Actually, no, it doesn't. It declares complete independence, and oh my fucking god, dude. And it becomes neutral again. Okay? It decides to join. Okay, so there's a union that happens. Let's make North Nigeria declare its independence first. Northern Nigeria, I'm going to show you exactly where Northern Nigeria declares its independence. Right about here. Declares its independence from Nigeria. Nigeria can't really do anything about this. And guess what Northern Nigeria does? They join the West African Union. There's nothing Nigeria can really do about this. Nigeria does something smart, though. They join the Western World Alliance. Because they want that part of Nigeria again. They want the northern part again. There might not be a war on that for a while, though. But one last union till the video's over. And that is Cameroon and Chad. They decide to unite with each other. And you know who else likes this idea? Central African Republic loves this idea. So they decide to unite with Cameroon too. And you know who else likes this idea? Not this part of Sudan. Darfur, yeah. That's supposed to be Darfur, that western part of Sudan. We're just going to give it a little bit more land, though, because Darfur is actually a little bit bigger than this. Not going to lie. It's about... Oh, shit. It's massive. Darfur is, yeah. A little massive. You're joking. Come on, just hurry up, dude. So Darfur is probably all the way out to here, if I'm being honest. Yeah, it looks about right. We're gonna say Sudan manages to keep on to quite a bit of this, though, on the eastern part. And Darfur still manages to declare its independence, but Sudan manages to keep quite a bit of this, like I said. Okay, here we go. There we go, Darfur. Okay, so yeah, it does look like Darfur will be joining this union, or maybe not. Yeah, they will. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. They join this union with Chad because they have no other choice. They have no access to the sea, and they have no military protection either. They might just get eaten up by Sudan again. So they join this union, which with Chad, Central African Republic, and Cameroon. Equatorial Guinea decides to join in because they're sad and small. And there you go. We have this humongous union. And I mean, they just decide to oh, this Sudan Egypt conflict is resolved. Sudan just gives this all. Wait, just wait. You'll see what happens. Sudan gives this all to Egypt. Nah, we're gonna give this part to Sudan, but actually, we're gonna give all of it to Sudan. That's what's going on here. Okay, whatever. Egypt's fine. You know, they don't need all that land. There we go. Now they kind of have sour relations a little bit. Sudan is not like existence right now because Darfur just, or most of Darfur just declared its independence and then joined this Central African country, which is pretty powerful actually. Not that powerful, but like it gained some power quite a bit. So yeah, the world's looking a little weird right now, but you'll see what's gonna happen next episode. Some weird stuff is going on. I basically haven't done anything in Europe, so I guess we'll have something in Europe next episode. All right.